In 1 week from right now, the CFO of Jasmy, which is Hiroshi Harada, is going to be attending an event in Tokyo, Japan. And it's actually going to be called WebX. And it's going to be this very massive event that's really focused on this space. And I think it's actually going to be such a fantastic time for him to do a lot of networking. And I'll explain how this could maybe impact Jasmy moving forward. But I first want to clarify, nothing I say is financial advice, and I am not telling anyone to do anything. Now, if we take a look at it, this event, which is called WebX, it's going to be going on from July 13th to July 14th. So basically in around a week from now, depending, of course, on when you watch this video. But besides that, the location is going to be at the Prince Park Tower in Tokyo, which I've been to Tokyo many times, but I'm just saying, if we take a look at it, the organizer of this event is actually going to be something called CoinPost, which is Japan's alleged largest sort of Web3 media company. So that's pretty massive. And if we take a look at it, it's going to be a 2-day main conference. There's going to be an exhibition. There's going to be a lot of networking sort of opportunities and also a lot of side events. Now, what this does is that it brings a lot of these major projects, companies, and stuff like that, and just brings them into one event. So could you imagine the networking that could be going on there, especially when it comes to Hiroshi Harada, who not only is the CFO of Jasmy, he's the CEO of Jangshin, which is an incubation project under Jasmy that's focused on AI. And also on top of that, he's now part of the Remix Point team. Keep in mind, Remix Point is a publicly listed company in Japan. So we got to let that sink in for a second. And if we take a look at it, for this specific event, the past and upcoming speakers do include, but not limited to, we take a look at in the case of people from Coinbase, from SBI Holdings, from Visa, MasterCard, Ripple, and also many others. So that's a pretty impressive thing right there. And if we take a look at it, this could be fantastic because people from projects that are focused on AI, right, they could be there. Also, could you imagine the potential partnerships that could maybe happen when it comes to this? We got to take that into consideration because when it comes to Hiroshi Harada, one thing we do know, though, is that he's very social. As a matter of fact, he's the most vocal individual as of right now on social media when it comes to Jasmy, right? For those who are in the Jasmy team, he's just the most vocal person out there. So we do know that he loves to interact with other people. And I think this is very amazing because he's going to be at an event where literally networking is kind of the goal. It's kind of the intent. So that is pretty impressive. So when people like to say, oh, Jasmy's cooked, oh, what it did in the past, historically with Panasonic, that was kind of the peak, I disagree with that. Now, does Hiroshi Harada being at that conference or that event, is that going to automatically make him announce a new partnership when it comes to Jasmy? Not necessarily, but sometimes the work begins there in a sense where maybe they exchange contacts and then they start talking and then start collaborating on ideas with, who knows, maybe someone from an enterprise or a large project out there. And then what that could do is build on the foundation for maybe future potential partnerships or collaborations or even integrations for Jasmy moving forward. So I think sometimes people don't really think about that, but this is the stuff I'm thinking about when it comes to maybe what Hiroshi Harada could do at that event and the after effects of it. And if we consider as well, the reason why I think now this is actually a better time for Hiroshi Harada to attend an event is because he just recently joined Remix Point. Again, Remix Point is literally a very massive company in Japan. It's publicly listed. And if we think about it, he did not leave Jasmy or Jangshin. He's still very well a part of Jasmy and Jangshin. It's just he took up another position at a different place, which could only help Jasmy and I think gives Hiroshi Harada a lot more credibility, especially for an event like this, because Remix Point, in Japan at least, it's just more popular than Jasmy. That is the case, in my opinion. So it could only help Hiroshi Harada moving forward. It doesn't make it any worse, and if anything, it actually helps Jasmy, in my opinion. It gives Jasmy more credibility in a sense where the CFO is actually even part of something like Remix Point, which is so massive. That's the thing. Could you imagine if, let's say, as a result of this event, Jasmy announces a new listing? Could you imagine that? Also, who knows, if let's say they announce someone is going to build on the Jasmy chain. I think sometimes people don't take this into consideration. Keep in mind, the Jasmy chain, it's often forgotten about, but it's Jasmy's very own blockchain. And Jasmy's literally used for gas fees on the Jasmy chain. So if, let's say, as a result of this, Hiroshi Harada networks with a certain individual or let's say a team from a different project, let's say they want to build on the Jasmy chain. If whatever they build gains traction, it gives a better use case when it comes to Jasmy because, again, Jasmy is being used for gas fees on the Jasmy chain. Let's also take this into consideration. Jasmy last year, they filed a patent for a stablecoin. I'm not joking. They actually filed it at the Japanese patent office. It's actually called JPYD, and it's actually going to be really focused on the Japanese yen. So that's the thing. Hiroshi Harada could even mention this. So there's so many things he could mention at this event. As a result of that event, is it automatically going to change the price when it comes to Jasmy? No, I don't think so. I think Jasmy, because the market conditions are not doing the best as of right now, because things are not looking the best overall in general when it comes to altcoins, it's just probably not going to do much. But again, that event could have future long-term implications when it comes to Jasmy. If we take a look at a Jasmy as of right now, the market cap is still around 220 million. So it hasn't really done much ever since my last video, but if we take a look at it, Jasmy is around 10 times lower than December 2024. If we don't even want to look at it that far, let's just take this into consideration. Did you know that Jasmy is almost 5 times lower than August of 2025? Wow. Like, that seems a little bit ridiculous. The reason why I say that is because August of 2025 was considered a quite bad time when it comes to Jasmy. And yet still, we're around 5 times lower than that? That seems a little bit ridiculous. In a good way though, personally for me, because even though I'm not telling anyone to do anything, at first glance this may seem like a bad thing, but it really depends on the frame of mind. Some people like low prices, some people don't. Some people like the dip, some people don't. It really depends on a case-by-case basis. I can't speak on anyone's behalf, but personally for me, I don't mind low prices and I don't mind the dip. That's the thing. So when it comes to Jasmy, it's just kind of to this point where it's so low that even if it were to just go back to August of 2025, which by no means was a good time at all when it comes to Jasmy, if it could just go back there, it already feels a little bit like a hypothetical altcoin season to me. I know it wouldn't be, but it would feel like one just because we're so low comparatively speaking to that point. So I get it. When it comes to Jasmy, it's pretty low, but some people like the dip, some people don't. That's the thing. And again, we're on 5 times lower than August of 2025. Like, seriously? That's how much Jasmy has had a pullback. Now, if Jasmy held up a little bit better, like let's say it was just 2 times lower than August of 2025 or whatever, then okay, yeah, I get it. If it goes back there, it's pretty boring, but we're literally around 5 times lower than that. Bitcoin is not 5 times lower approximately than August of 2025. It's not even 3 times lower. Bitcoin is only around 2 times lower than its all-time high. That's the thing. But when it comes to Jasmy, around 5 times lower than August of last year. So that's just what I'm thinking about as of right now. But nonetheless, seeing how in around a week from now, basically, or in 1 week from now, at least from the time of this recording, how Hiroshi Harada is going to be attending and speaking at an event or conference, I should say, called WebX. This is pretty impressive stuff right here. Again, it's going to go down from July 13th to July 14th in the Prince Park Tower in Tokyo, Japan. So I do find this to be pretty impressive, and I'll be sure to make an update regarding this because, it's just around a week from now. But yeah, I'll be sure to make an update when it comes to that. However, hopefully, y'all stay tuned for future upcoming videos. I want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a very wonderful and fantastic day. It's Mali the Captain. I'm out. Peace. Bye.